So, I may have not heard the news with the trend say one American congressman saying America now they inadvertently they fund Boko Haram for Nigeria. That's the way the news is being carried, but that's not exactly how we said it. Now, let me break it down. There's something called USAID. Now, America get the program. It's an agency, an independent agency. Yeah? The job of that agency is to provide funds, that's money, and relief to countries where they're in disaster, where they're in crisis, where they're poor, for the poor children to be able to eat, for the sick people to be able to treat themselves. So they send this money out to those countries. And last year, in Afghanistan alone, America spent $697 million to support the country. Every week, America, they send about $80 million out in cash to countries who need this help. But there's a congressman called Perry Scott. You know, Donald Trump, as he entered, the first thing he do is stop that USAID first. Now, because he's the president, he cannot just stop. Yeah, he can use executive power, but Congress can overturn it. So then they deliberator for Congress. Congress is like their House of Rep where we get here. So they're deliberator for Congress. So Perry Scott was trying to explain why Donald Trump's decision makes sense. And he said some things. Let me play you this video.
So post 2021, so this is last year, 2024, we spent $697 million of the taxpayers' dollars in Afghanistan, including $534,719,000 in change from USAID in Afghanistan.
Okay.
I don't know what we think we're going to change in Afghanistan. We lost 22,000, lost or wounded 22,500 Americans in Afghanistan over the course of our term there.
During the war.
In the war, spending over $2 trillion. We're just going to keep on spending because somehow we think it's going to get better. And if you're wondering who's in charge of Afghanistan getting the money, and that money I just mentioned, the $697 million is on top of, and is in addition to the weekly to every 10-day shipments in cash of $40 to $80 million.
Every 10 days, $80 million.
Afghanistan is ruled by folks named Sarayuddin Haqqani. The Haqqani network mean anything to anybody in the room? How about Abdullah bin Laden? Who gets some of that money? Does that name ring a bell to anybody in the room?
And they say nobody poor people
because
get
your
money.
Money, $697 million annually, plus the shipments of cash funds madrasas, ISIS, Al-Qaeda, Boko Haram, ISIS Khorasan, terrorist training camps. That's what it's funding. If you think that the program under Operation Enduring Sentinel entitled Women's Scholarship Endowment, which receives $60 million annually, or the Young Women Lead, which gets about $5 million annually, is going to women who, by the way, if you read the Inspector General's report, is telling you that the Taliban does not allow women to speak in public. Yet somehow you're believing, and
that
American people are supposed to believe, that this money is going for the betterment of the women in Afghanistan.
Same women that are not allowed to speak in public.
Terrorism, and it's coming through USAID. And it's
okay, so let me explain some things. That money is not being sent to Nigeria directly. The one he's complaining about is being sent to Afghanistan. But he's telling you that Afghanistan is being ruled by terrorists. It's just like as Nigeria did. Any aid where they send all this country, now government, now they receive it. We all know that most of those money, now they reach our hand. Now the government, now they take charge of the money. In Afghanistan, now the same thing they happen is just that the people where they control the Afghanistan, they are terrorists. And they have Al-Qaeda in Afghanistan. It said that Boko Haram in Nigeria is the younger brother of Al-Qaeda. They are linked. So when the money is funding Al-Qaeda, somehow, it is funding Boko Haram in Nigeria. It go reach here. You remember the last time our chief of defense staff was having an interview? Was that not on Al Jazeera also? He said it. That when they neutralize Boko Haram, they find out say those guys get hard currency, dollars. How is the dollars reaching their hand? So he has a point. He actually has a point. And the funny part is that America might know that this is what they use the money for, but America enjoys the fact that those countries are unstable. So they keep funding the terrorism by proxy. The man said inadvertently funding. Inadvertently means you are not deliberately doing it. So Donald Trump is out to stop that USAID. Elon Musk said that corruption that they use the USAID do. Say they're not they help anybody. And they have a point. So it's all right. Let's just know that this our Boko Haram will not the real end. Because somehow that they get unlimited funds. Somebody is funding them from abroad. And inside America, a congressman is pointing fingers at the American government. Say that they pass back door. They do it. Whether they know or they don't know, what you are doing is what you are doing.